So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival. So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom. I'm out.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. First of all, let me apologize about the scheduling issue. So I'm still in Senegal. So when I put 9 o'clock, so the clock on my laptop is still set for Eastern Standard Time in America. I'm in Senegal. We're 4 hours ahead. So when I put 9 o'clock p.m., I messed up. Okay, I messed up. So I apologize. We're getting started 4 hours early. But everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys buy the documentary. Again, make sure you guys buy the documentary In Search of Uhuru. I will greatly appreciate it, you guys. The documentary is available at searchforuhuru.com. So go and please support the documentary. Please go and support the documentary, and I will love you all for that. And again, I want to apologize about being super early. Yeah, sometimes I'm late, and today I am super duper early. So again, please go and buy the documentary. Alexis, did you call Air Senegal today? Alexis, did you call Air Senegal? It's your friendly reminder if you have not called Air Senegal. But let's do this real quick, guys. Let's do this real quick. So again, go to searchforuhuru.com, searchforuhuru.com, and cop and purchase the documentary. Again, please visit searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary, guys. And I will Greatly appreciate it. Again, if you're watching this, you have not bought the documentary, go and support and buy the documentary. And for those who have bought documentaries or bought the documentary, who have been on a tour and who've also copped some gear, I appreciate the support. I appreciate all you guys' support, even those who just come and watch the videos. But those who have bought, the documentary, gear. I got on the Africa is my everything t-shirt. Africa is my everything t-shirt. Let me hold on one second. I got on the Africa is my everything t-shirt. So go to amirdynast.com and buy that. And if you have been on a tour, I appreciate you. I love you, but I love all of you. Shout out to Delina in the chat room. Shout out to Delina. Delina, hopefully you don't act up today, because if you do, we're going to pray for you, okay? Again, if you do act up, we're going to pray for you, okay? If you start acting up in the chat room, Delina, so you be on your best behavior, because we know you might need some prayer, because it's been a minute. I know those evil spirits have been inside you lately, Delina. I know those spirits have been inside you, and you might need a cleansing. So again, guys, go to search for Uhuru.com, buy the documentary. Also, tours coming up. We're still rolling to Sierra Leone in November for the citizenship tour. Citizenship is available to those who qualify. Citizenship is available to those who qualify. So visit Danfo, DANFO .Africa. Again, please visit Danfo, DANFO .Africa. And come and join us on a tour. You guys will have an excellent time. In Sierra Leone. So again, if you're interested in joining us on a tour specifically to Sierra Leone, go to Danfo, DANFO .Africa. Again, Danfo, DANFO .Africa. And citizenship is available to those who qualify. One of the requirements is you have to have the African ancestry DNA test, and those results have to link back to Sierra Leone. So yeah. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in and go ahead and join the conversation, you are more than welcome to. Again, if you want to call in and join the conversation, you are more than welcome to. But I tell a couple stories. So story number one. I was talking to my African brother and sister, and this was years ago. And he was like, Dynast, America is so rich. America is the only place on the planet where you will find money on the ground. And what he's referring to, you guys know, when you're walking around, you might find a penny or a quarter or a nickel just on the ground, and you might even get lucky. Almost a couple of times I found 20s, $100 bills on the ground. And in these stories of Africans coming to America and finding change on the ground, it spread it like wildfire all over Africa. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, this place, America, you can find money on the ground. Now I'm in Senegal right now, and this is a Senegalese. This is 100 Sefa. You will not, in all my years of traveling throughout Africa, I have never found money on the ground. Again, I have never found money on the ground. All my years traveling throughout Africa, I have never found money on the ground. But in America, you will find money on the ground. So a lot of my African family, brothers and sisters, think that America is just filled with money. that's just laying on the ground, ready to be picked up. Which is not true. I mean, you will find some change on the ground, but it's really, it's not like that. Like how it's being told over here. Like just money issues everywhere. It's not like that. Number two, a couple years back, I think this is like 2019. 2019, I'm in Nigeria. It's right after my coronation. And I caught an Uber. From the Kalakuta to ABC Transport because I was going to catch the local bus, ABC Transport, back to Benin Republic, then catch a ride from Benin Republic to Lome, Togo, where I would fly back to America. And so, the Uber driver, he picks me up. We start, we spark a conversation. And he's like, we suffer in Nigeria. We suffer. Oh, we suffer. I'm just like, okay. And then I remember this as we just had this conversation yesterday. He was like, I have a friend, he's in Los Angeles, California right now. And he makes $15 an hour. We suffer. That's what he said. We suffer in Nigeria. We suffer. And so then he goes on this story of how his friend is living in Los Angeles, California, making $15 an hour. I had to explain to him, listen, $15 an hour in Los Angeles, California, this guy probably has 4 roommates in a studio apartment. $15 an hour is nothing. Like $15. Yeah, the guy is suffering in LA too. I tried to explain that to him. Like $15 in LA. He's on Skid Row. But he couldn't get out of his head that he just kept thinking $15 an hour. So he thought his boy was balling. And so I had to explain to him, like, $15 is no money. That's no money. That's no money. He's living in a studio apartment probably in Koreatown with like 3 roommates. But he still did not get it. Hold on. I want to address this comment in the chat room real quick. You can tell Dynas is a spoiled, sheltered Black person. You know what? I'm glad. I was thinking about this the other day. I thank my mom and dad every day. My mom, my dad, my grandma. I thank them for putting 3 to 4 square meals on the table every day. I never missed a meal. The lights were never cut off. The water was never cut off. I ain't have to eat no mayonnaise sandwich. Never saw an eviction notice. Cars never been repoed. Went to private school from elementary through high school. Let's see here. What else? Always had milk for the cereal. Never had to pour water into the cereal. Never ate Captain Crunch with water or my Fruity Pebbles with water or my Cocoa Puffs with water. Always had gallons of milk in the refrigerator. Plenty of Kool-Aid. Lots of good food. my mom, dad, and grandma always made sure that I was full. Never went to bed hungry. Never went to bed hungry. Done very well for myself. Yeah, I've had my struggles here and there. Again, yes, I've had my struggles here and there. But yeah, I had a great upbringing. So all this Diney sounds privileged and spoiled. You damn right I was privileged and spoiled. You damn right. And I am proud of it. And I am not ashamed of it. I am not ashamed that my mom, my grandma, my dad, it was a team effort. All the snacks, unlimited snacks, you know. When I said, Mama, we need more snacks, no problem. Mama went to Rayleigh's on Florin and made sure that cupboard was full of snacks. So yeah, all this, Dinus, you sound spoiled and privileged. You darn right, I was spoiled and privileged. So yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much for pointing that out in the chat room, that Dinus is spoiled and privileged. Yes, my family made sure I was well taken care of. So thank you for pointing that out. So thank you so much. I think it's important to have conversations like this because a lot of times, Black people feel get shamed, for living a good upbringing. But yes, I went to private school all my life. My mom, my parents sacrificed for me to make sure I live good. So yeah, I had a very great upbringing. Now I didn't have all the Jordans. I didn't have every pair of J's. But I had some phone posits. I had the African Hardaways. But I didn't have the J's. Okay. When I was 16, got a car. So yeah, I lived a very good life. So thank you so much for pointing that out. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for pointing that out. And let's see here. You got all these things because America is easy. You would not survive in Africa being the person that you are. I know plenty of people in Africa who are doing very well for themselves. Again, I know plenty of people in Africa. I know plenty of Africans. Yeah, Africa's a continent, right? Exactly. Thank you, Larry. Africa's a continent, but since you want to turn Africa into this monolith, I know plenty of people in West Africa who are doing very well. In fact, I know people in West Africa who are living or lived a better lifestyle than me growing up. So yeah, whatever. That's just where we're at. But basically what I'm trying to say. So sometimes I think the expectations for some of our Black immigrant family when they come here to America is a little irrational. It's not easy. It's not easy. In fact, when I was at college at the University of Georgia, I had a classmate of mine. Well, I think he was a year older. Family, they were immigrants. Again, families, they were immigrants. He was at the University of Georgia, and he committed suicide. And I want to say he committed suicide because he received a C on his report card at the University of Georgia. So I know the pressure, I guess, his family had on them. They were non-FBA, non-ADOS, whatever you want to call it. The pressure they put on him was so much that, and Miriam, that's fine. If I can't relate to 70% of Black Americans, that's fine. I mean, I would not lose any sleep at night. All right, I would not lose any sleep at night. So I have no problem with that. Yeah, he committed suicide, unfortunately, because he received the C Well, that's what they said. He received a C on his report card. So I think sometimes the expectations of when a lot of our immigrant family come here and they get met with this American reality, trying to chase this American dream, which, guys, listen, man, I was I'm gonna do a show on this tomorrow. I didn't say it after millennial. Maryam said it. Maryam said, I cannot relate to 70% of Black America. Okay, no problem. I'm not going to lose any sleep. Hey, this is who I am. It's whatever. So I think sometimes the expectations are when some of our immigrant family come over here, and I gave the example about the change, the money. You're not going to find money on the ground in Africa. I'm sorry. In America, you'll find loose change on the ground. In Africa, you will not find any loose change on the ground. Does not happen. So I want to start off with the situation with the taxi driver who was unfortunately killed. And it's unfortunate because you come to America, you want a better life for your family. And again, you come to America, you want a better life for your family. Whatever your reasons for coming here are to send money home. So you get a job. A lot of our African brothers and sisters are working 2-3 jobs. They don't sleep, which is it's not healthy. And a lot of it has to do with the stress they have because they have to send money back home. So you're doing your thing, you're driving your cab, you're from Ghana, you're here in America. You're doing your job, you get up every day, you want to provide for your family, you want to work for your family so you can feed your family here in America. And I'm pretty sure this brother was sending money home. You pick up the wrong passengers. Next, you're in an altercation and you get killed. 3 people arrested over the attempted robbery and assault that killed New York City taxi driver. 2 men and a teenage girl, once in a connection with the attempted robbery and fatal assault of a New York taxi driver, have been arrested, according to a New York Police Department spokesperson. Let me tell you how things work here in Africa. Let me tell you how things work here in Africa. There might be an altercation. There might be an argument. Tempers might flare up. Beating on the chest. But it never really escalates past. There might be a punch or a slap thrown. Then it gets broken up and it's as if nothing ever happened. Again, it's like nothing ever happened. I see it. You'll see arguments here in Africa, a little scuffle here and there. But after the scuffle, everybody just goes their own way. It's as if nothing happens. No guns are drawn. Nobody's beat to death, really. Like, if you get beat to death in Africa, man, what they call mob justice. What they call mob justice. You have to, that's something that's just disgusting. And I'm not gonna get into it because I'm not gonna repeat it on air. So what my African family has to understand, all right, People out here in America are bat-ish crazy. Okay? They're crazy. So if you're coming here, you're a taxi driver, you're in the service industry, you need to protect yourself because people are nuts. You become, a citizen, you get your green card or whatever. You need to protect yourself. You need to get a strap, get some mace, get something because people out here are nuts. I mean, they're killing folks over too much mayonnaise on a Subway sandwich. Let's finish this article. The men turned themselves into police Wednesday on allegations of assault and other crimes, and one of them was also arrested for manslaughter, according to the NYPD. They have not been charged. Police said Thursday night that a 15-year-old girl was arrested on allegations of assault and theft of services. So, they probably took the taxi. The taxi driver said, you need to pay your fare. And they said no. Altercation happened, escalated, and somebody ended up losing their life. Police are still asking for the public assistance and seeking at least 2 other individuals allegedly involved in the attack. The incident took place Saturday morning in the Rockaway Beach area of Queens. According to police, 4 people tried to rob 52-year-old taxi driver. 52 years old. 52. Guys, I need to be... I mean, unless this was his own taxi company, unless driving taxis was his passion, I couldn't imagine working a job that I did not love at the age of 52. Now, I did sales. I was making good money in sales in corporate America. But once I left corporate America in 2018, I was like 36. I could not imagine punching a clock for someone's corporation doing sales right now at the age of 40. I couldn't do it. So just imagine driving taxi still at the age of 52. But like I said, you never know. This could have been this man's passion. It could have been his own company. A 52-year-old, I mean, you're nearing retirement, and this happens to you. According to police, 4 people tried to rob 52-year-old taxi driver Kutin Gyimah following a verbal dispute with Gyimah. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Completed a trip in a New York yellow cab minivan, police said. The group stormed him, causing him to fall to the ground. He appeared to hit his head, but then managed to stand up before one of the men punched him twice, causing him to fall and hit his head again, according to police. Excuse me. NYPD officers responded to a call of an assault in progress to find Gyimah lying on a roadway with trauma to the back of the head, police said. Gyimah was then transported to an area hospital where he was pronounced dead. Fernando Mateo, spokesperson for New York State Federation of Taxi Drivers, called on Queens County District Attorney Melinda Katz to hold the perpetrators responsible. We are hopeful DA Melinda Katz does the right thing for this family and the people of NYC. There must be a clear message sent to criminals. A zero tolerance to low-level crimes that escalate to bigger crimes like the murder of a husband and father of 4. Ah, man, golly. Mateo said in a statement, the Federation has now raised over $150,000 through a verified GoFundMe page created to help Gyimah's widow and 4 children, all of whom are under the age of 10. Jesus. Thank you all for all the help, praise, support that our family has received during these hard times. Abigail Gyimah, his widow, in a statement. I lost my soulmate, my backbone, my life. When Kutin was taken away, now justice will be served. There is a combined $18,500. There is a combined $18,500 from information leading to a conviction, which includes a $15,000 reward from the Federation of Taxi Drivers and a $3,500 award from NYPD Crime Stoppers. Man, this is sad. I can't imagine being 52 and working for somebody. See, man, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. I'm gonna tell you what part of the problem is too. I somewhat blame the parents of the perpetrators. And you know what? Let me stop because I don't know the background. I don't know their background. So I don't want to assume anything. So I'm gonna stop right there. But it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate what happened. Guys, links in the chat room. I'm gonna get to the other topic, but links in the chat room. But yeah, I don't want to pass judgment because I don't have the facts on the background of the actual people involved. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stop right there because I'll be wrong because I don't have the facts. So I'm gonna stop right there. But hey, links in the chat room if you want to call in. Links in the chat room. And Mariam, I was going to get to that point. Americans are privileged, but no, not all. Some. And I was kind of going to go in that direction, but I don't have all the facts. I don't know their situation. Yeah, I don't have all the. Like I said, I don't have all the facts. Kutin Gyimah was a good man. I'm sure he was. He's trying to make a living for his family, man. 4 kids. Again, 4 kids. It's unfortunate. Which brings me to this our Cameroonian sister who off 2 people in Atlanta, top 3 off 2. Oh yeah, and guys, Rashard Brooks, the guy who was killed here in Atlanta by police, no charges will be filed against the police. Which anybody who saw the video knew that was going to be the case. So basically, a lot of y'all tore up and burnt down Atlanta for no reason. Even after you saw the video, the guy is in his car drunk, fell asleep, want to say he had a standing warrant, fights with the police, takes the police's taser, and points the taser at the police. And y'all want to go and fight and hit the streets and burn down Atlanta over that guy. Even after you saw the video. Again, fights the police, takes the taser, runs, turns around, and points the taser. Flex, I'm going to get into this situation because this is very, like you said, it's very sketchy. There's more to it. There's more to it. This story is very interesting. But yeah, you guys burnt down. Well, not saying y'all isn't y'all, but So Atlanta was burnt down for no reason, protecting a criminal. So basically, Atlanta was burnt down in the name of defending a criminal. Then a young girl got killed over this crap. And then Keisha Lance Bottoms, y'all forced her into early retirement over this crap, or Rashard Brooks, whatever. She's a whistleblower. Fix flexed up. I need you to call in because, like I said, I've been kind of following this case and reading up on this case, and there's more to it. Something ain't adding up. Something isn't adding up with this case. Like she knows something. No, let's jump into the story real quick.
In Odyssey, which matches the calendar. I don't have any legal arguments at this time.
No objection to the statutory form.
If I may intervene.
Ms. King-May, please remain silent, ma'am.
All right.
Mr.
Judge,
Cho,
I don't
no
have any-
objection to the statutory form?
No objection to the statutory form. Yes, sir.
All right, fair enough.
Your Honor, he's not my attorney.
Ms. King-May, you
Yes.
need to remain silent, ma'am.
All right, but he's not my attorney.
Okay, I think he's going to indicate that to you shortly. Ms.
Okay.
King-May, it appears that you do not qualify for the public defender. You
That's
have assets or income that would preclude them from finding you qualified to be represented by the public defender. It is up to you, Ms. King-May, to hire your own attorney, and I would encourage you to do that as soon as you possibly can. If you delay or stall hiring your own attorney, under Georgia law, it is possible that you could be deemed to have waived your right to an attorney under the case of Longo versus City of Dunwoody. I'll spare you the details on the case, but suffice it to say, Ms. King-May, if you do not want Mr. Cho or Ms. Markowitz to represent you, then it is up to you to hire your own attorney sooner rather than later. Okay, ma'am?
Let me just jump into it. So, sister, let's see. Two people are dead and another is hospitalized after authorities say Raissa Kenge opened fire at an apartment building and office building. The judge said Kinge's initial hearing, he was precluded from granting bond. Kenge seemed to protest. The judge asked her to remain silent multiple times. At one point in the hearing, Kenge spoke up and explained a conflict with her attorney, who said she is not qualified for a public defender because of particular assets or income that she has. You have the right to remain silent. I would encourage you to use it, the judge said. Authorities arrested Kenge at Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta International Airport about 2 hours after the shooting was reported. She sat waiting for her initial hearing at 11:30 a.m. Tuesday in Fulton County Jail. Her hearing was delayed while the judge dealt with technical difficulties. The Fulton County medical examiner identified the victims killed in the shooting as Wesley Freeman, 41 of Atlanta, and Michael Schenner, 60 of Alpharetta. The surviving victim has been identified as 68-year-old Michael Horn. Court documents, here we go. Court documents obtained by Fox 5 Atlanta show Kenge filed a lawsuit against Freeman around 1:46. Yeah, see, there's more to this. Around 1:46 p.m., Atlanta 911 received a call reporting a shooting at 1280 West Peachtree Street at the corner of 16th Street. Officers arrived at the 40-story 1280 West condo building to find two people shot. Police say one person was dead and another was rushed to an area hospital. Around 2 p.m., a second 911 call was placed, again reporting a shooting. This time it was at 1100 Peachtree Street. Officers arrived at the 1100 Peachtree Executive Office building to find one person injured by a gunfire. So she had filed a lawsuit. I want people go ahead and call in. Links in the chat room. So she had filed a lawsuit against her ex company that she was working for, and I guess they deal like in data or whatnot. But her claim is that people from her company broke into her apartment and stole some hard drives out of her safe and in her apartment, and she was claiming a lot. Yeah, she knew the victim. I want to say she worked for him at one time. But she just kept bringing up how I guess the company had broken into her apartment and stole data from her safe in her apartment. What this data contained, I don't know, but she filed police reports. She sued them. And I guess she blacked out and took them out. So, guys, links in the chat room. But basically, what this topic was about is this illusion that everything is easy in America. Again, this illusion that everything is easy in America. That is just easy. Because I know they tell the stories, the immigrant success stories here in America. But trust me, there are a ton who are taking L's because they just don't know what they're really getting themselves into when they come over here. Okay, it was her apartment management. Yeah, but she said somebody stole data out of her safe in her apartment, the apartment management company, or the company she worked for had the apartment management company steal the data out of her safe, or there was something. But guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in, call in. If not, okay, we got dark skinned Drake. Okay, oh boy. Dark skinned Drake, go ahead.
What's going on, Mr. Brother Dynast, man?
Hold on one second. Look my earpiece in. Give me 1 second. Oh, go ahead.
What's going on, my brother, and everybody in the chat room?
Go ahead.
Would you call her a Bukisha? Wouldn't she be Africa's Bukisha coming to Atlanta to wreak havoc?
Yeah. I mean, I would say once we find out more about the case, as of right now, but we don't know
those are two white
exactly
men.
what's going on. There's more to it.
The victims were white
There's
men.
definitely more to the story.
The victims were white men. Let me ask you something. The victims were white men, right?
Right. Like I
She's
said,
mad because she couldn't get a job.
Something ain't adding up with the story. Right.
Mad because she couldn't get a job, probably underqualified for the job or whatever. So now that's the norm. We can just when we get turned down from a job in Atlanta, we just start shooting the white owner and boss. That's how we do it. That's the African way.
There's more to it. There's more to it. I'm not justifying. I'm not justifying what she did. There's way more to the story.
I mean, it's way more Pookies and Ray Rays in Africa. Africa's population is way bigger than America's population, so they have 10 times more Pookies and Ray Rays. And that's what I'm really trying to let you know. I mean, at the end of the day, the Pookie and Ray Ray ratio is high in Africa.
Hello, Dynast. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
And she's a perfect example of that.
Go ahead.
And with the cab driver, I mean, condolences to the family of the cab driver. But some of those cab drivers are very antagonistic. Hello?
What does that have to do? What does that have to do? What does that have to do? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just saying some of those cab drivers, like in New York, DC, Baltimore, different cities like that, those cab drivers are very antagonistic. And what happens is they're not innocent victims. A lot of times they brandish weapons, things of that nature. So we're not going to just put it out there like this an isolated
No. If
incident,
you, if,
because it really is an isolated incident. You
no,
know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying? Because there's more
if you take,
incidents
if
of.
you, no, Drake, if you order a cab, the fare is right there. Like you can see the fare, like right there, and you catch a cab, and then you pay what you owe.
No, we understand that, but what I'm saying is, you have cab drivers in some of those cities, like I mentioned, they'll just drive past a certain demographic, or also hassle a certain demographic. Uh, so and
wonder
also,
why.
like you
I wonder
said,
why they drop out. I wonder why.
how you job shame that, how you job shame that guy and everything like that. That's cool, right? You job shaming the fact that he's a 52-year-old cab driver, but but I mean, what do they really come over
I'm
here and do?
No,
It's a
I'm not
very
job shaming at
few.
all. I'm not
It's
job shaming
very
at
few
all.
of them that
No, I'm
come
not
over
job
here
shaming at
and
all.
act and are doctors or whatever you. I mean, y'all try to put that image out there. More of them are cab drivers, uh, working in a store.
No.
Some
I
of them
didn't.
got
I
truck
no, no. Hold on.
drivers.
Hold on. Stop the show. Hold on. One mic. Let me. One mic. I've never put that image out there. I just said on here there are more. Okay, when you break it down, there are a lot of our immigrant family who come over here who are losing than they are winning. Working at the age of 52, again, unless this is his own company and this is his, unless this is his own company, unless this is his passion. I mean, for me, working for somebody else at the age of 52, man, I couldn't do it. I was 38, 36. It was like, man, I'm done. And I was making good money. So I couldn't imagine doing that. All right, UFC superfan, go ahead.
Yeah, I did read about the lady that killed some
Can
people.
you hear me, Mr. Dinas?
So
Oh, UFC, listen, the
Can you
UFC
hear me?
superfan's talking now. So we hear you,
yeah,
but
so
UFC superfan is talking now. Go ahead.
so I read some of her complaints. Like she discover in her workplace, she discover fraud. It's like she told the people that she was supposed to report the case to. So those one they didn't do the right thing. Then along the way, someone burst into his apartment. Then they stole something from our safe. It's like the workplace and the people that controls the apartment, the condo, like those people they collude together and stole and break into our apartment and steal an information. That is the evidence of the audit she did from a company that was going to like expose those people. You understand me? I think she reported the case to the police. I think they didn't do anything, so I guess she just fed up and decided to, take the law into her hand. So
Right,
that's
which
what.
is wrong, which is wrong,
Yes, which
which
is
is still
wrong,
wrong, which is still
100%.
wrong.
Yeah, sometimes when you see something
All right,
like
go
it,
go.
okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead. Finish your statement. Go ahead.
That's all. I think she just fed up, so she decided to just take the law into her hand. So, well, it's unfortunate for what
Go
happened.
ahead, Chrissy. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Chrissy.
hi. Okay, hi, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying your trip safely.
I am.
Um, good to hear that. I wish the other guy didn't drop off because just every time he comes on, it's just nothing but filth comes out of his mouth, you know? I just really feel like I hear like there's like a animus behind the things he says. The taxi driver is an innocent and antagonist. Is that this situation? Was this man? I mean, I don't. It's like jumping through hoops and hurdles to make excuses. Why can't we just say it was wrong? they were wrong.
No, it was
It's
wrong. It was
unacceptable.
wrong.
Is it that difficult to do? I don't understand. Like, as a grown person, as a grown man, you're making excuses for this type of behavior. I don't get it. I don't know what the
Well,
problem
again,
is.
it's
It's
the
not clicking.
it's the lack of an accountability in our specific community. You know, we just make excuses for everything. You know,
But
I
my
mean,
God,
really, it's what 4 people jump on this 52-year-old man and murder him over cab fare, allegedly. Come on.
how you can't excuse that. Now he has 4 children under 10 who will never have a father. Four girls under 10 who will never know their dad. Over what? Over nonsense? It's just disgusting, man. And the mentality is in the garbage can. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the water. I don't know if there's lead. I don't know if it's fluoride. I don't know if it's chemtrails, but something is not right mentally. And to have the mentality that you'd make excuses for that, you fall right in the same category as those people to me. You come from the same strain mentally from where they come from. It's too much.
Exactly. Go ahead, Alex. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Dennis? Well, basically, I'm just here
Going
to
well.
talk about the title of the show, about how America isn't as easy as some Africans outside of America may make it seem. And when you come to America, you kind of have to almost like you have to be on your toes almost, because you can't slack and be financially unstable, because there's a lot of repercussions that are permanent with being financially unstable in America. I also wanted to point out that mental health is also a big thing for immigrants who come to the African immigrants who come to the U.S., because the work culture might be different, or the school culture, or just the culture in general might be different, and that may lead to you being mentally it may lead to you not being able to take care of your mental health as much as you might be able to in a more stable environment. You also made another point where you mentioned, I think, did you mention that Africans need to get guns or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, you got to protect yourself, especially
Yeah, that's
well, see,
another
I,
thing
I just
too.
know like the gun law. I know the gun laws in New York though are, well, actually they changed it now. It's federal now. You can get a firearm now anywhere. It's federal.
Yeah, so
That
that's
got
another thing
passed.
too. Like, a lot of Africans that come to this country come from like countries where the gun culture, like the gun laws, are like very strict. So coming to the U.S. and picking up the gun culture from here, and like understanding that you might need a gun to protect yourself. Some people don't know how to go about that, or even know how to go about getting a legal gun. But I think it's something that's more and more that needs to be put in the mind of Africans who come to this country, about how they can acquire protection, and the laws of self protection and stuff like that, just to make sure they're doing everything legal and whatnot. But you you're right about acclimating to American culture, and how everything is not perfect as some people would make it seem.
Hey, go ahead, Elvis.
Thank you, Dennis. I just wanted to say, like, if you
Elvis, you
work,
there?
are you getting me?
Yeah, he's talking. I mean, I can hear him. I don't know if anyone
Okay,
else.
yeah, I think my internet is kind of going in and out, so I think that's probably on my end. But go ahead, Elvis.
Yes, I was just saying, like, if you work in a store or you work for any corporation or even in the gas station, they'll tell you if there's a if there's a robbery, just capitulate. Let them take what they need to take and report it to the police later. So I don't think he was being smart by trying to chase him down, for his cab fee. Even if they rob your store, just let them do what they got to do. and be a victim, and you can report it to the police. But again, I'm not. I don't think it was because he was African. That's why they attacked him. If he would have been Indian or some other ethnicity, and he was trying to chase him down for his fare, they probably would have done the same thing.
You don't. Nah, they definitely wouldn't have. It's because he's black. But I think if it was any other race, they wouldn't have done that to him.
You really, Dynasty?
I know they wouldn't have.
Oh, come on. So again, I sympathize for the brother as a fellow African, but these things happen. It's not because he was African. That's the point I'm trying to make. It could have been any other race. They probably would have attacked him because he was trying to chase him down. So that's how I see it. I mean, that's all.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room, and also this is a commercial break. If you have not bought the documentary, In Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com. Please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Again, links in the chat room and link is on the screen. Again, please go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary, everyone. Here we go. Judy Jones in the chat room says, Mateo started the Taxi Driver Association a few years ago when they were robbing and killing taxi drivers. Goodness. All right, Dark Skin Drake, go ahead. Dark Skin Drake, you there? Hello? Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't hear.
Yo, what's up, man? I don't know if I was just getting cut off or what.
Go ahead. Dark Skin Drake, go ahead.
I don't know if I was getting cut off or what. I might not be one of the privileged Black Americans with good Wi-Fi or something. But bruh, I mean, like the whole thing about the Africans coming, and I mean, they're gonna do that anyway because they see that their people, they're not coming back to live in Africa.
Yeah, we lost them. We lost them again. So, man, Elvis, go buy the documentary, man. But thank you for the super chat, Elvis. But that does not excuse you from not buying the documentary. Go buy the documentary. But everyone, thank you. Shout out to Elvis.
That's almost two documentary, Donis. Just take it. I don't got the time.
No. Go to the site and buy the documentary. Go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. But thank you for the $20 super chat. Thank you for the $20 super chat. But guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, please click on the link, and you are more than welcome to call in. Again, if you want to call in, please click on the link and call in. Okay, we had lost Chrissy. Chrissy's back now. All right, Alex, you want to add to the conversation, Alex? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Go ahead, Alex.
Well, basically, I was gonna say, for as far as the whole headline of Africans, doing crime in America and stuff, like a lot of people are taking this as an opportunity to like start some kind of competition between FBA and like African immigrants about who's doing the most crime, who's doing this and that. I don't see how it's productive. So every time an African does a crime in America, I just go straight to Tariq Nasheed's page. It's right there, front and center. He never misses it. And then he has those people who follow him, and have sometimes will glow. When you post the crimes, I just don't see how it's. I can understand almost. They're trying to like get back at Africans who, who pictured them in a certain way, but I don't know. Are Africans gonna be like pointing out every single time, you know, an FBA person does a crime, or is it gonna be like a back and forth thing? I don't know, but it's kind of stupid.
Well, it's few and far in between because most Africans are not committing crime when it comes to America. And I'm saying that as a Caribbean. My people, yes. Yeah, we'll find it. Africans, no.
Yeah,
Most of them are not here committing crime. That's just a fact.
I'll disagree with you on that point. You know, we
Violent crime,
make
okay, maybe some scamming, but some violent crime,
right, and that's the
yeah,
distinction right
scamming,
there.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
So just petty crimes, traffic crimes, you know, stealing, robbery, you know, things like that. I mean, I live in the African community, and I've seen it a lot. I have friends and associates who have been arrested for, you know, robbery, assault, you know, various
Well,
crimes. But the
I've never
reality
seen it.
is, crime is not exclusive to any one group.
Of course not.
So as Africans, you know, we can't paint African Americans as being more violent than we Africans. We've done some heinous stuff in my country. You know, for example, there's some terrible things that's happened. So for me, you know, certainly what Tyreek and, you know, as some FBSAs, I tend to agree with them on the point that we can't be the pot can be cut in the kettle black. You know, one of the things I would say about us Africans, you know, I can't speak for other groups, you know, even for all Africans, but we are afraid of jail. One of the things we are deeply afraid of is jail. You know, for me, one of the things that kept me straight was just I didn't want to go to jail at all. In Africa, you can go to jail, but it's very hard. You know, sometimes people can rape or kill or even sometimes do some terrible things, and the family members will just kind of talk it out and settle it out of court, or even, you know, it doesn't even have to go to jail. So Africans were just not used to being in jail, being in prison. So in America, where little things get you in prison, a lot of Africans shy away from crime for that
Hmm.
simple reason. You know, but again, crime is permeating within the African community in the diaspora, definitely. You know, so I won't say that we're better than so-called FBAs because our crime rate is not as high as, you know, most quote unquote FBAs. But again, I don't want us to put that divide between us. You know, Africans fall into some of the same traps as African Americans in the, you know, in the United States. So I just want to make that point clear. You know, we're not better than them
No,
in many ways.
I totally agree with you. I
Yeah,
think the
as
point was
African
being made
Americans.
that Tariq Nasheed highlights when, you know, a black immigrant in particular is committing crime. Um, so I think that was the point that was being made about that specifically as like it's a competition. So
Yeah, because when I saw the headline of the thing that happened in Atlanta, I just knew Tariq was gonna jump on it ASAP.
of course.
And next thing you know, I'm going on Tariq's page like 2 hours later, and it's right there, front and center. But I also wanted to add that for immigrants that are coming to America, especially African immigrants, like the neighborhood you find yourself in is like extremely important. It almost like can almost determine your future in America. So I would suggest, and I would suggest for Africans to avoid high crime neighborhoods because your children and your family can be easily sucked up into that into the whole everything that's happening in the neighborhood. This is as somebody who's like lived in the ghetto and stuff before as like a single man, and I've had like my parents and like family members be worried about some of the neighborhoods I've lived in DC, and I can understand why they worried in the past when I used to live in those neighborhoods. So I would encourage Africans to avoid certain neighborhoods and instill in their children like a mindset where crime is not um looked up to.
Yo, and I'll add to that. You know, one of the things that I noticed, you know, especially growing up as Africans, and again, I'm not trying to cast aspersions here, but as Africans, once we're in bad neighborhoods, our parents do their darnest to try to get us out of there. You know, I've seen it many times. You know, when we come into this country, you know, our parents are struggling. They'll work, you know, two shifts just to try to get us to a better neighborhood. My mom has been harping on it. When we was growing up in Minnesota, we had a community like Brooklyn Park or Brooklyn Center, which is kind of a tougher area. They try to get us out into places like Maple Grove or Edina, places where it's more, affluent and you get a better school system. And I'm not trying to say this, but most African Americans, I don't think they really want to get out of that situation. Some of them just choose to stay in it. They either get swallowed up in crime or become a victim of the crimes. But I think most Africans, they make it a priority to get out of those infested, crime infested neighborhoods. I've seen it. I can't speak for both sides, but from my point of view, my parents, firsthand, they fought hard to get us out of a bad neighborhood into a better one. So I've seen it. So I think you have a point on that side of it, Alex. That's all.
I want to address this because that's why I came on. Hey, Dynast. You know,
What's going on, bro?
um, I've watched you, Dynast, for quite some time, and I've been following you for a while. I followed you when you first went to Africa. I've been um, connected with you from the beginning, but I find some of this conversation right here to be ignorant. Uh, there's a certain level of ignorance that's being spewed on this panel right now, um, and it's all disparaging towards Black Americans. Uh, the sister that was on, and this last commenter or panelist that came on saying that Black Americans don't want to uh, get out of the ghetto or get out of high crime, high poverty areas. You do not know our history here in America, and you come here and you make these disparaging comments about us, and you don't know what's really going on in America. You just fly off the cuff and say anything, and you don't really understand how America really works and how. No, let me finish because I didn't interrupt you, okay? And I don't want to be interrupted while I'm talking, while I'm speaking. You fly off the cuff and you say disparaging things about Black America, and you don't know our 400 years of history here in this country. We've built quite a bit here. We built all these HBCUs here from pennies from scrap. We have more.
That's not true, brother. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is that when I say we built them, even if we had help from white people while we were building them, they're still in our name. Okay. So most of them. Let me finish, Simon.
Okay, go.
So we even built white institutions here, Harvard, Yale, all of those different institutions, those Ivy League schools. We've been discriminated against and kept out of these institutions for years. We've had over 100 towns burned down that we built from scratch. Stop disparaging us, coming here telling us that we don't want to do better and that we don't want to get out of the ghetto. That's my point. Stop saying that we never tried and we never did anything and all we want to do is be poor Black in the ghetto, welfare, kids, and all this other bull that you be spewing, because that's a whole negative, derogatory narrative that's been spewing all across the African diaspora. Stop saying that because you don't know our history. You don't know all the things that we've done. And that's the problem I'm having with this conversation. Okay? You don't know who we are, and you say all these negative things about us. You don't know what we've gone through and all the things we've built here in this country. Okay? We fought for all these civil rights to be on the books, for all these institutions to be open to everybody else, because none of these people could go to any of these primary white institutions. The Indians, the Chinese, the Asians, the Arabs, none of them could go to these schools until we fought and got out there and opened those doors and filed all those lawsuits. Okay, so you come here and you say all these disparaging things about us, and you don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know our history. I'm done.
All right, so Sadiku, one second, Chrissy, but this is the thing, Sadiku. All right, I'm gonna use the University of Georgia analogy. We won the national championship in 1980. 40 years later, we finally won it. Between those 40 years, the question was, what's UGA doing? What have they won? So my question for you, Sadiku, what is the Black community doing now? Because all I hear Man, we being ran out of New York. They replacing us. They doing this to us. White supremacy. This, that, and the other. That's all I hear now. Then you got the music, you got the media, you got the way we're portraying ourselves. So it's either we're in a constant, consistent state of victimhood in 2022. That's what I'm talking about. So what are we doing now, Sadiku?
So I want to have are we going to have an honest dialogue, to be honest about who we are?
But that's just my question. What are we doing now?
Okay, so it's not that we haven't tried, but you have to admit, you know, this system just as well as I do, how when we pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and we keep on trying to get on board and trying to go for it, you know that the system will put things in. Like, this is America. Like, let's just use this one example. How is it that we've had the best education system before anybody else in the world, all while I was growing up? Because I'm older than you and I'm older than everybody on the panel, so I know what the education system was. I come from when education was good for almost everybody here. You went to school, you got a good education. What they did was they took a lot of the educational components out of Black schools. Okay, when I came up, you could get a music education just by going to school every day. You got music, reading, math, arts, all of that came with your education. Okay, that was in every school almost. They pulled out. So here's my point. If we had all of these things in education, how is it that all of a sudden the education became such a great failure for Black Americans? Because there's this is social engineering. Okay, they take things out of our schools and out of our education system because they feel like we're gaining too much. Don't say that this is not an effect, Dennis. You know this is an effect. When they feel like African Americans, Black Americans are getting too much, they'll move the goalposts and change different things in the system. And that's how I'm going to answer that. Because we're always fighting. We've always fought here. You know this history just as well as I do. I digress.
So, Sadiq, if you're in a abusive relationship, what would you suggest that someone does in an abusive relationship for the past 400 years? Like, if you're a counselor, right? You're a marriage counselor or a relationship coach, and a woman comes to you and says, "Listen, my man continues to beat my ass every night, every day. He moves the goalposts. He continues to whoop my ass. But you know what? I'm going to stay and fight and work and fight to save the relationship." What would you tell that person?
I know where you're going, Dennis. I watch you. I keep up with your whole narrative. Your narrative, you went and got your citizenships, your 4 different, you were Senegal, you got 3 different citizenships. I know you got Sierra Leone or Senegal, and you got Nigeria. I think it's 3 of them that you have. So I know the whole way you went and got your citizenships. Okay, I understand that you pro-Africa, pro moving to Africa, search for Africa is the future. It's on the back of your
If I can interject, I'm to the point now, the way things are going in America, especially with Black America, I'm pro, you need to seek options outside of America, whether it's Africa, it could be Belize, it could be Central America, it could be Thailand. I'm pro seek options outside of Africa, but go ahead. I'm pro seek options outside of America. Doesn't have to be Africa, but go ahead.
I heard you make that spiel about, in the last couple of months or so, 3 months or whatever, I caught it that you said seek options outside of America. Okay. The biggest spiel, along with Dr. Arcana, is that Black Americans need to be making their space, quote unquote, building Wakanda, doing everything to build a Wakanda in Africa so we can make our great escape from America. I don't wholly disagree with that, but there's problems in Africa, and there's problem in Belize, and there's problem in Brazil, and there's problem all over the diaspora. And a lot of these diasporan countries, their puppet governments. Look at Haiti. Haiti is a disaster, and it's 99% black. I've been to Haiti, okay, and I'm saying
Sadiku, don't
Quick
move to
thing, can I
Haiti.
ask Elvis a question real quick?
No. Let Sadiku finish before you get to
I
Elvis. Go
mean,
ahead.
yeah, Sadiku. I meant Sadiku. I confused him with Elvis. So basically, what's stopping Black Americans from doing the same thing Africans do on a worldwide scale?
there's a false
Because
equivalency. There's a
Bro,
false.
as far as I'm concerned, I don't see anything wrong with an organized group of Black FBA Black Americans going internationally, securing resources for themselves, and then sending it back to their people in America.
bro, you know that
That's
African
like
Americans
that's
are
a
way more
smaller version
successful
of
than
what
Africans.
Dynas is talking about. You don't necessarily have to go make a permanent move, although a permanent move is also feasible. But basically the same thing Africa is doing, same thing Chinese are doing, playing in a global market and not relying on American benevolence.
Okay, see, you know what? When we have these discussions, it seems to be that you don't come with the full uh, you don't come with the full understanding about geopolitical dynamics and the whole education. You come with a half a bag because you do not understand how the Chinese got. I've been around long enough to know that the Chinese.
I said Africans
Hold
before I
on,
said Chinese
don't
because
interrupt
you
me.
don't have to compare yourself to a whole nation like China.
I don't want you to interrupt me while I'm speaking because I'm making a valid point here. Okay, because I'm a wealth of wisdom when I come on. It took me a while to come on Dynas. I've been following Dynas for over 7-8 years. Okay, so here's the thing. The Chinese 30 years ago, when I was even before I got out of my 20s, the Chinese was riding bikes. There were no cars in China. There was all umbrellas and bicycles. Okay, what America did was ship jobs out to China, ship the whole technological industry over to China. China had no technology. They didn't have any TVs. They had no electronics. They had none of that. So you don't understand how the bourgeois, not even the bourgeois, it's the 1%. You don't understand how the 1% operates in China, in Asia, in Africa. You have no understanding about how they really operate. I'm going to digress because, see, when I'm talking, I don't want to be interrupted because you don't have the range. I agree with you, Dynas. We do need to make a situation where we're always trying to do better. But I will say that Africa has problems, and it's hard to go there when everybody's asking you or looking at you as American, and that somebody. When I was in Haiti, and I'm gonna close. When I was in Haiti, and I went to the Dominican Republic, I happened to be able to go to both of them at the same time. I was stopped at the border, and they shook me down because I was American. They didn't see me as anything else. They shook me down. Even at the airport, they were shaking me. When I say shaking me down, it's colloquial slang or everyday.
I know. I travel. I know.
All right. So how and they make it where you can't get. I look at the brothers and the sisters who do blogs concerning Africa on a regular basis, just like I know about the situation, the bags of Gambia. Okay, they do not have citizenship. They're over there building that land up, doing all that work over there, but they've been there and they putting their hard sweat and equity in that land, and they have not given them citizenship. They should have been had citizenship as hard as they're working over there in the Gambia. That is an issue to come over there and put all that sweat equity in and put
Let me
all that knowledge into that land. Hold it. Put all that knowledge into that land and don't get citizenship. But Dynas, you got citizenship in 3 different countries. What makes it so great that you can get citizenship in 3 different countries and Bad can't even get 1 citizenship, and they've been over there working tirelessly and effortlessly? I close with that. I really don't want to spend up.
Because I didn't go to the Gambia. Let's see here.
yeah.
That was
I want to read this. So allegedly, Sleepy Joe is going to be canceling $10,000 of student debt, right? So here's Nina Turner canceling $10,000 of student debt when the average white borrower is $12,000 in debt, while Black women hold on average $52,000 isn't just unacceptable; it's structural racism. Like, do you think that's structural racism, or do you think that's just unaccountability?
Of course, that's structural racism. Everything in this country is done on
Okay,
structural.
Sadiku, did the white man force these sisters to take out $50,000 in loans to get a degree?
We Dennis, let's be honest. Let's go back to base one, to the foundation. We're entitled to have an education just like everybody else is entitled to have an education. Okay, just like we're due reparations. There's no reason why we should sit back and every other ethnic group can come over here and take out these student loans and we can't get student loans, or we can't get an education, or we can't enter the primary white institutions because we don't have generational wealth, because we've been cheated out of our wealth so many different times. You know how much wealth we would have if we were allowed to realize our full potential without them coming in and stop. How long have we been fighting this police brutality? The Panthers came up in the 60s and we still got the same exact things going on 70 years later. Let's be honest about that. Dennis, you're from California. You know well about the Panthers' history. Okay, why are we still fighting this whole thing with the Panthers' history?
And we took it and we flushed it down the toilet.
Okay, but that's structural racism. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I mean, I got like $8,000 left on my student loan. That would clear me out, so I'm happy about that news.
yeah.
So
I only have 10K left, so that would
yeah,
kind of help me out too.
yeah. But let me just say this, to Alex, I think African Americans in the United States is far more successful than any African immigrant groups. We have to admit to that. I know people harp on this Nigerian coming
I
here and
agree.
being doctors and so forth. There's a lot of successful African Americans in the United States. The
Maybe
only
not
thing,
internationally, but in
yeah,
America.
the only thing that's really holding them back, and I think a lot of people agree, is that they don't have their own country. We kind of saw it with Liberia, but some other factors came into play there. But really, we shouldn't be castigating them as if they're not doing well. Most people who are not doing well are people who are struggling in crime-ridden, neighborhoods and so forth. But a lot of them get out. They slowly work themselves into the middle class. And a lot of us Africans, from other African countries outside of Nigeria, we struggle sometimes worse than African Americans. So we can't hold ourselves up higher than them. I always try to make that point. That's all.
Dennis,
All right, let's do this. S Hunter, go ahead and mute yourself. S Hunter.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we do. Yes, we can. Go ahead.
All right, salute Dinus and everybody on the panel and in the chat. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, when it comes down to it, like how I see it is everybody has a choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it comes down to what choices are you making. Like, sure, you could look at how we was programmed, how we was raised, how we was like, indoctrinated, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, once you realize what's going on, you gotta like understand that you have a choice as an individual. Now, what everybody else is gonna do, you can't control that, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own mind. Now you can network, get into a group, you know what I'm saying, strategize and create a whole new situation. But it's like if we look in the past with like Tulsa, certain things, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, these people were doing great things for their community and setting a great example. But see, what happened? You got people, you know what I'm saying, that will, basically kill you because you're trying to overcome the situation. So you got to ask, like, where does that leave us? You know what I'm saying? Where does that put us when we try to do too well? They'll, you know what I'm saying, blackmail us, kill us, do whatever. But, you know what I'm saying, if we're causing destruction on our own, they'll accept that, you know what I'm saying? They'll champion that, they'll promote that, put that into the media, you know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody gotta, be their own person, you know what I'm saying? Try to inspire others, but you just gotta like strive for greatness. Everybody gotta strive for greatness, get their mind on tight. And sometimes you gotta move behind the scenes, move in silence, and as far as like Americans like having it easier than than Africans, you know what I'm saying? That's it depends on how you look at it, because it's like on one hand, you know what I'm saying, you gotta understand, in America, every walk of life, it don't matter if you white, black, Mexican, Chinese, any walk of life that's on this soil in America has a challenge, unless you come from money, unless you like your parents come from money. But if you don't come from money, you're gonna have to get it how you gotta get it. That just is what it is. You're gonna have to like overcome a lot. So if you are a person of color, if you are black, an immigrant, whatever the case, then you're gonna have it like 10 times harder. You're gonna have it 10 times harder. So it's like, it's not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, all this money. You gotta think, when you come over here, the money that you think that's a lot of money, it balances out to what the cost of things are here. You know what I'm saying? So in theory, it's pretty much the same thing as where you're from. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is you apply yourself. You got schools here. You have trades that you can get, like electrician, plumbing, tech. Some people come over from overseas, get into trucking. You can make 6 figures doing that. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, what it boils down to is having the willpower, having the work ethic, you know what I'm saying, being able to have a vision, and to not be, you know what I'm saying, swayed by other people's views or opinions or situations, to where it's like someone can sway you off of your square. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in something, stand in that. If you believe that you're going to be able to, you know what I'm saying, stand up in America and then turn around and change the world, change the tide, and, you know what I'm saying, now the whole government is, making things happen and possible for people of color or people, black people, whatever the case, then keep fighting for that cause. It's people that truly stand in that. But I promote people having their peace, gaining their peace. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it takes for you to gain that peace, you know what I'm saying, that's what I would, search inside to figure what that peace is for you. And when you like doing that, I feel like life is gonna be good for you. So that's all I gotta say on that.
Oh, cool. Go ahead, Dr. K. Unmute yourself, Dr. K, and you'll be the last caller. Well, let me read Jamal off too. Go ahead, Dr. K. Dr. K, you gotta unmute yourself. Dr. K. All right, Jamal. Go ahead, Jamal.
Can you hear me now?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. K. Go ahead.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay, go ahead, Jamal.
Hey, yeah. I was listening. Can you hear me, Dynas?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's a great show. I was just wanted to add that about the sister, the Cameroonian sister that did the attacks in Atlanta. It's kind of unfortunate. You know what I mean? And your title is pretty on point. Because America ain't sweet, man. You got to have a certain mentality. In America, man. Some call it Ford tough. But it's just unfortunate. And I just want my African brothers and sisters to know, when it comes to America, that it ain't all peaches and cream. But that's all I want to add right now, Dynas. Thanks, I appreciate it.
No problem, Dr. K. Go ahead. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I want to slightly disagree with what the brothers are saying, like, because I come from Africa and I've lived both in America and the UK. And look, the systems work better over in America. I live in Africa right now, and if I'm honest, right, the opportunity is just zero. So I would say America is not easy in the sense that it's not, sugars and cream, but it's a lot better than Africa if you're a young man trying to make something for yourself, because at least you got systems that work. You got, if you work hard in America, you can become rich. If you work hard in Africa, you don't know what you're going to become. That's the difference. So I'll say, if you're young, get your passport. If you're African, go to America, get your money up, come back, develop. That's what I did. Right now I'm in Africa, but I worked in America a little bit. I worked in the UK, and I got to say that it's a lot easier.
And you're right, and I think that's what most African does. When we come to this country, we work hard with the idea of going back home. The only thing I would say to us, keep your name out of African American stuff. Keep your mouth out of African American stuff. You just come here, keep your mouth shut, work hard, go back home and build. Don't come here and try to be divisive and act like you know what the problems of African Americans community are, and you'll be just fine. That's really my point. I've always tried to stick that point in the show.
How come? Because yeah, I've been there. Look, Punta, I used to be in New York, actually. But yeah, so why can't we get in African American stuff? Maybe we got a better insight of the problems coming from an outsider's perspective. So
like I was saying, you're only here for a season. You're on a work visa, so to say. You may be here for 20, 15 years. You're just here to work. You got your homeland to go back to. Most of the problems in the African Americans is facing, we're facing the worst in Africa. We have, waterborne pathogens. We have simple shit from the 17th centuries that we're still dealing with in Africa.
Are you familiar? Well, hold on, Elvis. Are you familiar with Flint, Michigan? Are you familiar with this monkeypox outbreak going on here in America? Not here in Senegal, but in America.
Come on, Dynast. That's basic stuff. The things we're dealing with, we still, some of our people still live in huts and mud villages and shit like that. So our problems is way deeper than that. We're talking about crimes. We're talking about other things but your living condition in America is way better than those for our people in Africa, for most Africans in the villages and towns. So we can't come here and pontificate as if to say we're so much better, we have better values, when the reality is we're suffering more in our material condition in Africa than we are, the African Americans are in the United States. That's just a fact. So we can't come here and try to tell them how to live better or to be better when ourselves back home, we're living in a shithole. That's just a fact.
I don't agree with that, brother, because we got different problems, right? In Africa, we got lack of organization. We don't know how to, make the country work. That's a country level problem. But when it comes to family, definitely our family structures are more functional. So look, I think Black Americans should chip in to help fix Africa. For example, Nigeria doesn't have electricity. Right? We got to figure that stuff out. Black American communities, we all know what's going on there, right? Sometimes they've broken the family structure. So I think it's good for us to have that conversation. Yeah, you're right. Our countries aren't being managed properly, but that's a different problem. And when they say that to us, I 100% take it. I'm constructive about it. We have the conversations. We can learn from each other, but we have different problems. You can't mix Africa's lack of organized, development and government with family values and structure. We have that on check for the most part, and that is helping us succeed when we come over here in these other countries. So I think we need to be able to actually listen to each other.
But it's not helping us. It's not helping us succeed in our own country. Is that what you're saying? Good family values don't help you succeed in Africa, but they help you succeed in America.
We're suffering from two different problems, brother. In Africa, it's a lack of organized government structures that don't know how to work. The family structure helps us succeed in a general sense, but the system itself is broken in Africa. In America, the system more or less works, but the family structure is broken. So we're dealing with two different problems. You can't equate, a government level problem in Africa versus family level problem in America. So each of us can chip in and figure out solutions so that we can actually help each other out.
So you're saying that we Africans are the model for family values, and we should teach that to African Americans because they lack family values. Is that what you're saying?
Not the model, but we're definitely better than them. See, a model is some.
On what grounds? On what grounds?
Simple. If you look at the divorce rate in Nigeria, it's 0.5%. If you look at the divorce rate in America, it's 50%. You can't compare 0.5%.
Infidelity in Africa is probably on par with America, if not worse. So most people in Africa don't divorce because of economic reasons. The women depend on the men more for economic reasons. That's why they don't divorce.
We get all that,
don't say that.
Brother, we're not talking about infidelity. We're talking about family structures. The mother being the house, the father being the house.
But that's what's caused a lot of divorce in the United States, infidelities. People cheating on each other. So in Africa, a woman who's not working, the husband is the breadwinner. She don't know how her kids are going to be fed when the men leave her. So she stays there regardless of if he's cheating or not.
There's a stronger sense of family.
Hold on. Elvis, what's the divorce rate due to infidelity? Like, what's the percentage?
I mean, I don't have the stats, but I'm telling you that's one of the main reasons men and women separate.
The majority, the
Oh.
majority, the main reason why there's divorce in America is called guys, help me out.
Irreconcilable differences.
Differences. There we go.
But that's all part of it, Dynas. It's not an exact reason. It's just a mumbo jumbo. It could be infidelity. It could be money issues, but mostly it's down to infidelity.
No,
that's what it
true
is.
at all. Actually, there's a no-fault divorce going on in America, meaning you don't have to have a reason to divorce. You just simply don't like the person anymore. You don't want to be stuck with them in a family structure. It's called no-fault divorce. So I would say we can learn from each other. Black Americans have more money than Africans. They have probably better understanding of customer service in business. They have understanding of how to actually build money and structures and systems that succeed better across time. And maybe we actually have a better so-called nuclear family values that we can share those ideas and fix each other's problems. This idea that we can't speak on each other doesn't make sense.
I agree.
How else are you going to learn from someone else if you can't even look at your own problem? Because we're all suffering from different problems. So you can't equate, like I said, systematic problems of lack of government structures in Africa versus a more family level problem in America, because the systems are there, but family structure, for whatever reason.
Let me jump in here because you just made a very oxymoronic statement. And it's sad that you don't even understand the fallacy that you just committed here. When you said that you have better family structures in Africa, you know, the basic building unit of any community, any city, any village, and anything that goes on and takes it to the next level is the family structure. So if you have great family structures, then you should be doing much, much better. And the building of Africa should be much more synchronized and much further along, because you're saying that you have better family structures. Oh, that's really crazy to me that you would say that.
But that's not oxymoronic when he talked about the systems itself, which is very clear.
Hold on. Because we had family structures intact too. When we were in the 60s, we had 75%, 80% marriage rate. Okay, this was all orchestrated. This is one point I've been wanting to get out all week. They have purposely genocided and destroyed Black American family structures. You don't understand how American society works against Black American families. Okay, you have no clue all the things. That's what I'm saying. You come over here and you fly off the cuff and you just say things that are just asinine, because we had family structures in place. Tell me, how do you come out of slavery with full families in effect, whole families in effect, and then hold on, let me finish. And you have all these family structures in effect. How do you think we built all these churches here?
Right.
We had.
Can I respond to you?
No, I want to finish my point before.
Okay, we'll finish your point.
We've always had great family structure. This system is vociferously carnaging us and taking us and making it so that we don't have family structures. This what this system has always been about. That's why they brought all the Europeans and stacked them on top of us. Okay, because they wanted to destroy our family structures. That has been this government's whole agenda since we've been here. Since we came out of bondage, physical bondage, we've even had genocidal sterilization programs here. Do you even know about that? That they sterilize women without their knowledge here? Do you really understand what's going on in America with Black Americans? You do not understand. That's why you can sit up here and fly up the handle and say that crazy shit.
I think you're misunderstanding it. I know the history, right? I know about Tuskegee. I know about the forced sterilization of women. I know about the eugenics program. I know all the history. I even know the fact that Black Americans had actually extremely high, sometimes across history, even higher so-called two-parent household numbers and the white families, etc. I know all that. We're not talking about the history. We're talking about right now. Because I could go and do the same argument you did and say, well, the reason why Africa is suffering is because colonialism. The white man came in, especially in the French countries where you have to go and utilize the French banks, etc. First rights of. I can go do the same thing there, right? Comparison there. We're not going there, right? We know the facts about why Africa is poor. We also know why Black America. Hang on, brother.
In Africa because of the colonium that's still the
right,
best.
right.
The the vestiges of colonialism still proliferate in Africa. That's how come the Swiss, that's how come the Belgians just told Ghana, you want to make cocoa, you want to make candy bars. After you've been giving us this cocoa and shipping it to us now, we've been sending it back to you 10 times, 20 times, 50 times the amount. Now that you want to make cocoa, we're not going to even buy any cocoa from you.
That's
now,
called geopolitical.
That's what Kwame Nkrumah talked about when he says, and then Walter Rodney, how Europe underdeveloped Africa. In Kwame Nkrumah's book, he talked about how that's how come they killed him. That's how come they killed most African leaders. When most African leaders talk about they're going to start production and producing with their own goods instead of selling the raw materials to all these other countries in Europe, that's what usually happens. That's the thing that Africans have not grasped. They have not grasped the fact that the colonial proliferation, along with the Francophone countries and the things that they're doing in France, as far as that Frank is concerned, Dr. Arikana speaks on it all the time. $500 billion out of all those African countries, those 13 Francophone countries every year. What are you talking about? Colonialism isn't part of the problem. That's the biggest part of the problem in Africa.
No, it's part of the problem. I live in Africa, brother. Africans, we're lazy. We don't like working hard. We're corrupt a lot of the times, and we allow ourselves to be corrupted. That's the problem. Yes, colonialism has its impact, but it's not the end all. Because if you think about it, you just create a boogeyman. You just create the white boogeyman problem where we can never actually overcome this problem. We acknowledge that the white man interferes in both Black America and in Africa, but we got to focus on the solutions at the places where we can. If yes, you're saying that Ghana is trying to create value-added products with their cocoa industry, right? Fair enough. And you're saying that the Europeans don't want to buy those products because they already have the value addition. They want to control Ghana. That's how it should be. That's called geopolitics. What we need to be focusing on is power, making sure that we put leaders in position that can play that game. We need to start thinking at how. Think about it, man. We can't be complaining that the lion is trying to eat us all this time, that they find our meat tasty. We need to find a way to make sure that we can combat that lion so that we can escape that perpetual victimhood complex, because I don't hear any solutions. The solutions I say here is
let me give you a quick solution. The solution for Ghana, as much chocolate as Black Americans eat, would be to start an export-import into Black America to ship that chocolate over here. Because we eat plenty of chocolate in Black America. We make chocolate brownies, chocolate cakes, all types of chocolate, whatever. Okay? Chocolate milkshake.
So Dickie, let me ask you this. Sorry to cut you off, man. All right. So, but when you say ship it to Black America, ship it to whom specifically? Because they'll have to go through the distributor, have to go to a grocery store. We don't own any grocery stores, so they'll still have to deal with the major non-Black grocery chains and distributors. So how would that work? Go ahead.
Let me say this, because this is very. How did shea butter get here in such magnitude? White people was not even using shea butter. They didn't even think about shea butter. Where Black America and the Africans got together. I've been in this community for quite some time. When I say been involved with the whole African diaspora, Pan-Africanist movement way before now. Shea butter came in under the table. It did not come into mainstream stores and Walmart, and it's everywhere now. But you know how it got here? Because back in the 90s and late 80s and all that stuff, Africans was sending the shea butter directly to Black American communities. I'll digress right there.
Look, Black America is is what, 40 million people with a several billion-dollar a year industry. Fair enough, I get that. The issue here is, though, most Black Americans are not woke enough to be selectively buying African products. So even if Ghana focused on the Black American market, Black Americans are going to be looking at the cheaper product of the product they used to, like Cadbury's, chocolate, etc. So unless the Black American population can rise to like a 60% woke level, then it's not going to be effective, because Ghana is selling to Belgium, selling to the UK, selling to so many different European as well as American chocolate industries. And the issue here is Black America, because most of them are not woke yet, won't be able to take on that burden, because this is a multi-billion-dollar industry by itself when it comes to chocolate. So all I can say is what steps Ghana can take is to fortify this whole value addition products, right? To start mixing in the sugar, the milk, and create like an actual decent product. Start selling it to Africa for cheap, even if the profit margin isn't so great. Africans are now creating more of this middle class income situation, right? Ghana can also ban any external chocolate companies from selling chocolate back into Ghana, etc. So that you start with the local market, and then once you have a foothold, you can now start doing deals with the West and tell them, look, guys, listen, you're going to be saving money as well because I'm going to give you a half-made product. Sure, you're not going to be able to steal as much money as you used from us, but this is going to make it easier for you. You can probably fire some people and actually end up making more profit for the people on top of the companies, right? They're not caring about the lower people on the company. They care about the board of directors. Ghana just needs to come up with a decent plan and then talk to these people in the same level, and they'll be able to start succeeding. Because this whole idea of the white man being the boogeyman, we get it. The white man is involved in all the parts, and he's shaking them up, and he's stealing off the cream from the top of the funnel. But that's already understood. We just got to now start focusing on fixing it. Black America, I say, fix your family structures. Africa, we got to start stopping these Westerners from coming in and dictating to us how we do business.
Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Uhuru. Peace.